It's not by chance that when you're feeling sad, anxious, or confused, a cat quietly comes to sit by your side. It's no accident that in your darkest moments a cat watches you from the shadows with a deep gaze, almost as if it understands something you've forgotten. Cats don't just walk on Earth, they move between dimensions. Their steps are quiet, but their presence is strong. There's something about them that can't be easily explained. It's a mystery that has fascinated people for centuries. Modern society, with its focus on the physical, may try to ignore it. But the mystery remains alive, purring right in front of us. Today, I want to share with you something you may have always felt, but never had the words to express clearly. Cats are spiritual healers. They carry a subtle energy that can balance, cleanse, and harmonize not just your home, but your soul. If a cat is near you, whether it has crossed your path or lives with you, it's not by chance. It's a sign that your energy, your spirit, your path needs something only they can provide. Together we'll explore the hidden spiritual side of cats. A wisdom that's been preserved by alchemists, shamans, Egyptian priests, and mystics for thousands of years. We'll learn why these mysterious creatures have the power to heal our souls, clear negative energy, protect us from unseen forces, and serve as guardians between different worlds. We'll explore the role of cats in ancient cultures, from Egypt to the East and shamanic traditions, and the hidden ways their energy interacts with ours, dissolving stress, absorbing tension, and balancing our emotions. We'll also discover how to read the signals your cat is sending and how to work with them to improve your well-being. Cats don't just sleep, they meditate. They don't just meow, they send out healing vibrations. They don't just brush against you, they realign your energy. If you're willing to look beyond the surface, if you want to understand why a cat has come to you, if you want to learn how they can heal your soul with their unseen spiritual energy, then this journey is for you. Join me, because when this video ends, you may never look at a cat the same way again. You might see them as a teacher in feline form, sent to help you remember who you truly are. From the sands of Egypt to Eastern temples, from shamans' fires to medieval alchemists' chambers, cats have always been surrounded by mystery, respect, and reverence. They've never just been pets. They've been guardians of the soul, protectors of the threshold, and allies of the unseen. Let's start in ancient Egypt, the heart of one of the most spiritually profound civilizations. There, cats were sacred, not just for their hunting skills, but because they were seen as manifestations of the goddess Bastet, the cat goddess of protection, fertility, and household harmony. Bastet wasn't just a myth, she was a symbol of balanced feminine energy, of the power to protect and heal at the same time. The Egyptians believed that cats could ward off negative energies, keep unwanted spirits away, and ensure the smooth flow of vital forces in the home. Killing a cat was considered a serious crime, and many cats were mummified with the same respect given to pharaohs. In Eastern traditions, especially in ancient Japan, cats also played an important spiritual role. The famous maneki neko, or beckoning cat, that raises its paw is just the beginning. Cats were believed to ward off evil spirits and attract good luck, thanks to their ability to sense subtle vibrations beyond human perception. For Zen monks, a cat's stillness, grace, and calm presence were a lesson in living in the moment with focus and detachment. In Celtic and Norse cultures, cats were linked to magic and the afterlife. In Norse mythology, the goddess Freya's chariot was pulled by cats. Cats were seen as guardians of portals between worlds, helping souls travel between the physical world and other realms. In Native American shamanic traditions, cats, though less domesticated, were seen as powerful animals. Their sharp senses and mysterious behavior made them spiritual allies for detecting invisible forces, both helpful and harmful. Even in medieval esoteric traditions, during the age of alchemists and mystics, cats were companions to the wise. They were believed to have a special connection to the Earth's natural energies and the astral plane, helping maintain balance during spiritual rituals. Why does this cultural connection persist across so many traditions? Because all these cultures understood one fundamental truth. The cat is a bridge between the visible and the invisible, a silent traveler between worlds, able to perceive what the human eye cannot see and transform the dense energies around us. Their purring is not just a sound, but a vibration that brings harmony. Their intense gaze is not simple curiosity, but a way of reading energy fields. Their habit of sleeping in specific spots is not random. It's their way of balancing the energy in the home. Just as ancient cultures understood that physical space is connected to the subtle world, they recognize that cats are the natural guardians of this connection. Today, this forgotten wisdom is coming back. Understanding the spiritual role of cats isn't superstition. It's a way to reconnect with the invisible forces that govern the harmony of our souls and surroundings. Now that we know the spiritual legacy of cats, let's dive into the essence of their invisible gifts. Beyond their grace, their sharp eyes, and their quiet movements, cats are energetic healers working in ways we often can't see. Let's explore 3 of the deepest ways that cats influence our lives, often without us realizing, yet deeply impacting our bodies, minds, and spirits. First, the purr, a natural healing vibration. What may seem like a simple, comforting sound is actually a powerful tool for physical and energetic healing. A cat's purr vibrates between 25 and 150 hertz, a frequency that studies show helps with tissue repair, reduces inflammation, and eases pain. On a deeper level, the purr has an even greater effect. It resonates in our subtle bodies, helping to clear energy blockages, release tension, and restore balance. When a cat purrs near you, especially when you're feeling down, anxious, or tired, it's not just showing affection. It's tuning your energy like an invisible tuner, bringing harmony to an out-of-tune instrument. Ancient traditions believed that a cat's purr helped balance chakras, especially the solar plexus and the heart, bringing calm and reconnecting the flow of life energy. Second, the protector of space, the guardian of energy. Ever wondered why cats are so picky about where they sit? It's not random. Cats choose specific spots in your home or close to you where they sense stagnant or imbalanced energy. When a cat curls up on you, whether it's on your stomach, chest, or head, it's absorbing and transforming dense energy that we sometimes can't release ourselves. Like healing crystals such as quartz, cats act as natural energy purifiers. When they sleep in a particular corner or under furniture, they're neutralizing areas that could affect your rest, mental clarity, or emotional state. Ancient wisdom recognized that our homes are living energy fields, and cats, with their sharp sensitivity, watch over and cleanse these flows without us asking. Third, the emotional mirror, amplifying inner states. One of the most subtle but powerful gifts a cat has is its ability to reflect the emotional state of its owner. If you notice your cat acting differently, becoming distant, hiding, or restless, it's likely picking up on your own inner tensions, often before you're fully aware of them. Cats mirror your energy, amplifying imbalances within you so you can see and release them. They do this not out of judgment, but from a place of neutral compassion that encourages self-reflection. Just like water reflects the face that looks into it, your cat's behavior mirrors the state of your soul. By learning to read these signs, you'll not only take better care of your cat, but also better care of yourself. These are just the first 3 gifts that cats bring into our lives, quietly and with patience. In the next section, we'll reveal 3 more powerful gifts that complete this map of abilities, showing why cats are such unmatched guardians of our spiritual well-being. Now, let's look at 3 more gifts that complete the spiritual work of cats, and explain why having one around can transform your emotional state, level of consciousness, and energetic destiny. 4th, the dissipator of negative energy, protector against the unseen. In many ancient cultures, cats were seen as not just healers, but also protectors against unseen forces. Their ability to see in the dark is a reflection of their ability to sense disturbances in invisible realms. Where we may just feel an uncomfortable atmosphere, a cat can pinpoint the source. When a cat stares at an empty spot, chases something you can't see, or acts unusually, it's interacting with forces that don't belong in your space. Simply by being present, it acts as a protective shield, neutralizing these influences and restoring balance. In ancient Egypt, cats were thought to drive away spirits that drained energy from people and homes. Today, we might say that cats stabilize your energy field and cleanse your environment, keeping unwanted energies from affecting your clarity, sleep, or vitality. 5th, the guardian of sleep, protector of the night. Sleep, according to ancient wisdom, is a journey of the soul. During rest, our consciousness expands and explores subtle planes for healing, learning, or integration. But these journeys can sometimes be interrupted. That's where the cat's mysterious gift comes in, the protection of sleep. It's no accident that many cats love to sleep on their owners' beds, at the foot, near the chest, or by the head. They're guarding your energy field while your soul is at rest, ensuring a smooth journey and preventing outside disturbances from entering. Their bodies seem to act like radar, tuning into surrounding frequencies and neutralizing anything that might disrupt your dreams or emotional state. If you've ever slept better with your cat nearby, now you know why. It's not just companionship, it's protection. 6th, the consciousness raiser, master of presence and meditation. One of the most subtle yet transformative gifts of cats is their ability to teach us the art of being fully present. Watch a cat resting. Its body is still, but it's not asleep. It's in a deep state of meditation. Its attention is fully focused, its mind is quiet, and its energy is centered on the present moment. Zen masters have admired this quality in cats, seeing them as living embodiments of the meditative state that many seek through complex practices. Cats show us, simply by being, how to remain in a state of relaxed alertness, how to observe without judgment, and how to conserve energy when action isn't needed. If you learn to match the cat's rhythm, your mind will become calmer, your energy will align, and your consciousness will rise to higher levels of clarity and peace. These 6 hidden gifts, when understood and honored, can completely change how you relate to your cat. You'll no longer see it just as a pet, but as a spiritual companion who has chosen to walk beside you to help you heal, protect you, and elevate your awareness. In the next section, I'll share practical tips for how you can work with your cat in a conscious way to strengthen this sacred bond. Knowing that your cat is a healer, a protector, and a spiritual guide is powerful. But what really changes your life is learning how to work together with it. When you align with your cat's energy and understand its subtle ways of communicating, a powerful channel for growth, protection, and mutual balance opens up. Below, I'll share 4 simple practices to help strengthen that sacred bond and amplify the hidden gifts your cat is already offering you. 1. Create energy recharging spaces. Set up special areas for your cat, similar to how you might create spaces for meditation or reflection. Cats benefit from having their own sacred corners where they can recharge. Pick a quiet, clean spot in your home, free from electronic interference, where your cat can rest and tune into the energy around it. You can enhance the space with things like crystals, amethyst or clear quartz, a candle lit under supervision, or plants like lavender or rosemary. By creating a harmonious space for your cat, you help it regenerate its energy, which in turn boosts its ability to heal and protect you. 2. Conscious petting. Use your touch as a way to channel healing energy. When you pet your cat, do so mindfully. Rather than just a casual gesture, treat it as a meditative act. As you gently stroke its back or head, take deep breaths and visualize a golden or violet light coming from your heart, merging with your cat's energy. This exchange not only nourishes your cat, but strengthens a shared flow of positive energy, creating a space of well-being for both of you. 3. Meditative observation. Take time each day to observe your cat in silence. Watch its calm breathing, relaxed posture, and complete focus on the present moment. Simply be there, without judgment or interruption. This practice helps you tune into the cat's frequency, teaching you to quiet your mind and center yourself in the here and now. Over time, you'll notice your own energy softening, reducing stress, improving intuition, and expanding your awareness. 4. Silent gratitude. Acknowledge your cat's invisible work. Every night before bed, reach out to your cat, whether it's awake or asleep, and mentally say, "Thank you for taking care of my energy. Thank you for protecting my space. I honor your wisdom and presence." This simple act of gratitude strengthens the invisible connection between you and amplifies your cat's healing gifts. Like any being working in the unseen, cats thrive on acknowledgement and appreciation. By incorporating these practices, you're not just taking care of your cat, you're strengthening an energetic bond that raises both of your vibrations, turning your home into a place of harmony, protection, and spiritual growth. Now, you can truly see your cat for what it is, not just a companion, but a healer, a protector, and a spiritual guide. It silently works on the invisible planes to balance your soul, harmonize your space, and elevate your consciousness. Today, you've discovered 6 hidden gifts that make the cat a unique spiritual ally. Its purr, its choice of resting spots, its emotional reflection, its protection from the unseen, its guardianship over your sleep, and its ability to teach presence are all powerful healing tools that most people don't consciously recognize. Now that you understand them, everything changes. The true value of this knowledge isn't just admiring your cat, but integrating its wisdom into your daily life, learning to read its signals, respect its space, express gratitude for its work, and above all, emulate its mastery of living in the present with grace and detachment. The bond you can build with your cat isn't just emotional, it's energetic and spiritual. It's a quiet alliance that, when nurtured with awareness and gratitude, amplifies both of your growth. As the ancients said, the teacher arrives when the student is ready. If a cat has come into your life, it's because your soul is ready to receive its subtle lessons. Today, I invite you to see your cat in a new light, not just as a pet, but as a living embodiment of universal balance. Listen to its message, receive its healing, and learn from its ability to live between worlds. If this resonates with you, if you now understand why cats come into your life and how they transform your energy, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and keep exploring the ancient wisdom and spiritual practices that can transform your life. Let me know in the comments how your cat has influenced your life, your energy, and your soul. Your story might inspire others to see their own cats with the reverence they deserve. Always remember, a cat is not just an animal. It is a reflection of the sacred incarnated in fur and eyes, It is the soul of the universe walking beside you, helping you remember the harmony that has always been within you. Imagine for a moment that you could breathe without moving your chest, without taking in air, without your lungs doing any work. Is that even possible? Or are we so used to thinking of breathing as just a biological process that we've forgotten there's a deeper, invisible, even sacred side to it? From the very first moment we enter this world, life seems to start with a dramatic event. The newborn's cry, the sudden expansion of the lungs, the first breath of air. We assume that breathing starts there, but it doesn't. Before that first breath, when we were still floating in the amniotic fluid, supported by the quiet of our mother's womb, there was already a rhythm inside us. It wasn't about oxygen, but about energy. It wasn't a physical act, but a deep vibrational movement connecting us to the fundamental flow of life. This original, pure, subtle form of breathing is called embryonic breathing. Though the name might sound poetic, the practice itself is both technical and transformative. This video will guide you to a wisdom that has stayed hidden for centuries, passed down through mystical traditions, who knew that true energy doesn't come through the nose but through invisible centers in the energetic body, especially through the lower dantian, located just below the navel. This is the energy center, considered the womb of energy itself, where, according to ancient Taoists, not only is biological life created, but so is the spiritual transformation of the self. Embryonic breathing isn't about oxygen, it's about unity, bringing together body, mind, and spirit in a quiet dance where the air barely moves, but the energy flows deeply. This kind of breathing isn't felt in the chest but in the belly, makes no sound, yet quietly reshapes the practitioner's internal vibration. In a world where anxiety dominates and breathing has become shallow, rushed, and broken, this ancient practice is a return to the source, a reminder that we're not meant to chase after breath in panic, but to invite the spirit of air from within and hold it with full awareness. In this video, I'll explain what embryonic breathing really is, how it's different from other techniques, how wise monks and inner alchemists used it long ago, and how you can start reconnecting with that deep memory still alive inside your energetic body, even if your mind has forgotten it. Get ready, because this knowledge isn't modern. It's a doorway that opens only for those ready to remember how they breathed before they had a name, before they had a history or a form, when they were just pure presence. Today you'll learn to breathe like that again, and in that remembering, maybe you'll discover something deeper than air, your purest energy. Throughout human history, the most sacred knowledge wasn't passed down through words, but through presence. The master didn't teach with lectures, he radiated energy. The student didn't learn with their mind, they learned with their whole body. Embryonic breathing is one of those silent knowledges, not written in books, but embedded in the sage's posture, in the stillness of their belly, in the way their energy stayed calm and undisturbed by the outside world. Most people think the first breath happens at birth, but for the ancient Taoist schools, that moment marks separation, the break from the universal flow and the start of a fragmented existence. True breath, they said, comes before air. In classic Taoist alchemy texts like the Cantong Qi, there's a description of breathing that doesn't rely on oxygen, but on qi, the life energy that fills everything. Qi doesn't come in or out like regular air. It moves in spirals, gathers in the lower abdomen, and flows inside, feeding the organs, balancing the spirit, and awakening awareness. The internal alchemists, known as Niden, taught that before breathing through the nose, humans breathe through a spiritual center, an energetic umbilicus that still vibrates where the umbilical cord once connected us. In the womb, the embryo received nourishment, energy and information effortlessly through this original breath, the purest and most forgotten breath. Interestingly, this idea isn't just Taoist. In Hinduism, especially Tantra and pranayama practices, there's a concept called Kevala Kumbhaka, breath without breathing, where energy moves even when the body is still and no air comes in or out. Experienced yogis train for years to reach this state, a suspension of physical breath that activates prana flowing through subtle body channels, awakening higher consciousness. Even early Christian and Middle Eastern esoteric teachings mention the breath of the spirit, or ruach, a vital force not made of oxygen but divine presence. This breath doesn't require lungs. It's inhaled with the soul, not the nose. Why do so many traditions agree there's a kind of breathing beyond air? Because they understood that the physical body is only part of a bigger system, and real power lies in the energetic body. Breathing from that body restores balance and connects you to the universal field, where there's no separation between who you are and what you want. Embryonic breathing isn't a new technique, it's a return to the oldest, a bridge to a state of unity that comes before thought, identity, and desire. In that state, you seek nothing because everything's already there. The Taoists knew this, the yogis knew this, mystics across time sensed it in their quietest moments. The most powerful breath is the one you can't hear, and learning to awaken that lost breath is remembering deep in your belly who you were before you became anyone. When you hear the word breathe, you probably think of air flowing into your nose, filling your lungs, and oxygenating your blood. But what if I told you that's just the surface of something much deeper, subtler, and more ancient? Embryonic breathing isn't just a physical technique, it's a state of awareness. It's not about moving air, but about moving energy without moving the body, and that energy starts in a place modern life has almost forgotten, the vital center in the lower belly, known in Taoist tradition as the lower dantian. This spot isn't an organ or muscle, but a vibrational core, considered the energetic womb of the human being. Life begins there, and that's where we need to return if we want to awaken vitality that comes not from effort, but from harmony. Embryonic breathing starts when you stop breathing like a body taking in air and begin breathing as an energy field. In this practice, there's no chest expansion or diaphragm movement. The outside of your body stays still, but inside, something sparks quietly like a glowing ember radiating warmth from the center. Imagine a glowing sphere in your belly, a sphere that breathes without moving, gathering your scattered energy with every cycle, condensing it and sending it back to your core. That's embryonic breathing, a vibrational alchemy that reshapes your energy field from the inside out. How do you get into this practice? First, through silence. Quiet your mind, slow your normal breathing, even quiet the urge to try. Embryonic breathing only happens when the ego steps back, when you stop trying to control everything. Then you start to feel your body breathing from a place beyond name, shape, or expectation. You might be sitting completely still physically, but inside, energy begins to expand from your center out to your limbs, as if every cell is tuning back to its original frequency. This isn't just an idea, it's a reconnection with a biological and spiritual memory it's still there in all of us. The ancients likened this to the heartbeat of the universe, a silent rhythm pulsing through all living things. Embryonic breathing lets you join that rhythm, not as a visitor, but as part of the whole. The energetic body, that unseen field supporting your physical body, breathes as one. There's no in or out, just flow. In that flow, tension melts away, stuck emotions release, the nervous system deeply renews, and the mind quiets effortlessly because it's anchored in the belly, right in your core, your energetic center of gravity. When you practice embryonic breathing, You're not doing something. You're allowing something deeper to breathe through you. It's like the universe is taking a breath through your body, reminding you that you're more than flesh and thoughts. You're a vibrant presence that can refresh itself from the very source. So far, we've talked about embryonic breathing as a way to reconnect with the energetic center of the self, a path back to the soul's original state before it entered the body. But like all true inner arts, this practice comes with paradoxes that challenge common sense. It's not just about breathing differently, it's about unlearning how you relate to time, your body, and energy. One of the first big hurdles for beginners is that there's no immediate proof that something's happening. No gasps, no emotional outbursts, no noticeable heat. But its power lives in invisibility. Taoist sages said the master doesn't need to move to transform, nor speak to teach. Similarly, a skilled practitioner doesn't need to shake the body to move energy. In embryonic breathing, the strongest movement is the one you don't notice, and that's the first barrier to cross. Letting go of needing proof, control, and instant results. If you get impatient, you'll miss the subtle rhythm of the energetic body, because this kind of breathing follows the soul's timing. Cyclical and internal, more like the moon than a clock. Another deep lesson of this practice is that the body isn't a tool, but a temple that listens. In the West, we're used to using our bodies to get things done, control breath, hold posture, or force focus. But embryonic breathing asks you to do the opposite. Listen to your body like it's an oracle. Don't impose a rhythm. Let it remember its original one. This rhythm isn't learned, it's remembered. It surfaces when you drop expectations, techniques, and formulas, and simply rest your attention in your belly, as if you're watching over the dream of a sacred being inside you. Here's another paradox. This effortless silent breathing is incredibly transformative. Inner alchemists said that after weeks or months of practice, you start to feel a gentle warmth in your lower belly, a kind of inner sun that stays lit even when your body is resting. This warmth isn't physical but energetic, marking the start of a transformation, the awakening of an inner fire that supports your health, mental clarity, and spiritual growth. Unlike other practices, embryonic breathing doesn't seek anything, and because of that, it changes everything. By activating your center, it quietly reorganizes the flow of life energy. Your body begins to balance itself, your mind becomes more open and less reactive, and your heart calms down, finally letting go of chasing the future so you can fully live in the present. Moreover, embryonic breathing has almost an alchemical effect on heavy emotions. It doesn't push them down or let them explode, but distills them. That is, it transforms emotions into usable energy. Fear becomes presence, sadness turns into compassion, and anger shifts into clarity. And this happens without the practitioner needing to understand or analyze anything, because this practice speaks not the language of the mind, but the body's symbols and the fertile silence. After weeks of breathing like this, something changes without you even noticing. One day, you realize you're no longer living from your mind, but from your center, and from there, everything that once felt hard suddenly feels simple, because you've learned to move like the universe moves, effortlessly, yet with purpose. Talking about embryonic breathing might sound like some far-off journey meant only for monks or seekers tucked away in the mountains. But the truth is, this practice, ancient as the first heartbeat of the universe, needs no special place or advanced knowledge. It just asks that you learn to inhabit yourself through silence. Here are 5 ways to bring this wisdom into your daily life, not as another technique, but as a way of being that's more grounded, more real, and more present. First, wake up your center each morning before you even check your phone, say a word, or fully open your eyes. Place your hands on your lower belly and just breathe, feeling that point. Don't try to change your breath. Just watch the invisible movement. You might not feel much at first, but if you do this every day, your body will gradually start to remember its forgotten rhythm. This simple act has a powerful effect. Instead of beginning your day anxious and scattered, you step into the world from your core, and that shifts the energy of your whole day. Second, make silence a daily energy ritual. Our modern world is full of noise, digital, emotional, and external, but the Dantian, the center of embryonic breathing, only wakes up in stillness. Give yourself 5 minutes of total silence each day, not as a meditation technique, but just to witness yourself without distraction. Silence isn't emptiness, it's fertile ground where your energy can reorganize. That's where you start to hear the breath of your soul. Third, bring your attention to your belly whenever you feel tension. When anxiety, anger, or fear arise, stop. Don't think it through or analyze. Just return to your center. Focus on your lower abdomen and breathe softly. Imagine that point as an energy sphere that stays still while everything else spins around it. This simple move grounds you, pulls you back to the present moment, and most importantly, disconnects you from the reactive ego while reconnecting you to your body's wisdom. Fourth, care for yourself like you're tending a sacred fire. Embryonic breathing has a physical side, an internal warmth, a vital energy that nourishes you from within. So pay attention to what you put in your body. Don't eat in a rush or out of need. Eat as if feeding your body were a ritual, as if every bite had the power to ignite the Dantian. You'll notice that when you eat mindfully, energy flows differently. Your body thanks you, your center grows stronger, and your soul feels rooted. Fifth, allow yourself to do nothing, fully present. In a culture obsessed with productivity, resting with awareness is a radical act. Practice sitting still without distractions or goals, not to escape, but as an energetic statement that you are already whole. In those moments, something aligns, and without effort, embryonic breathing may begin to reveal itself. Not as something you do, but as something that happens when you finally let go. In the end, embryonic breathing isn't just a technique to improve your life. It's an art of reconnecting with life before you even tried to fix it. If you bring a bit of this practice into your day, you'll realize you don't need to change the outside world to find peace. You just need to remember who's breathing quietly inside you. Most people go through life breathing without ever stopping to feel who really breathes. They breathe out of biological habit, like machines that never shut off, but rarely do they breathe with their soul. From that silent center that needs no air, only presence. Yet we all came into this world from that silence, from a subtle rhythm that doesn't come from the chest or lungs, but from the belly, the core where energy forms before taking shape. Embryonic breathing isn't some alternative technique. It's a return, a reunion with the oldest, most intimate, and purest part of yourself. It's like an invisible thread connecting you to the moment before you were anyone, when you were already everything, a soul floating in a boundless sea, breathing without breath, living without a name, vibrating in total unity with the pulse of existence. This video is an invitation to remember that true power isn't found in effort, intensity, or even intellectual understanding. Real power lives in the ability to stop, to empty yourself of expectations, to listen to your energy in silence, and to let your body recall how it breathed before you started trying to control everything. Now, did you know there's a kind of breathing that doesn't need air but attention? Your vital center isn't your mind or heart, but the Dantian, the energetic womb of your soul. Stillness isn't inactivity, it's the secret language of the subtle body, and the deepest fire isn't lit by will but by surrender. To breathe this way is more than meditation. It's a sacred act, a silent promise that says, I'm ready to stop controlling and start remembering. And when you do, life changes, because breathing from the center aligns what once felt scattered, quiets the noise, dissolves anxiety, and leaves you with a clear sense of belonging, as if you're finally home within yourself. So if anything you heard today touched your soul, if somewhere deep inside you recognized this sleeping wisdom, don't ignore it. Start today with something small. 5 minutes of silence, attention to your belly, and the simple willingness to do nothing else. The rest will come naturally. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and like the video so more people can rediscover this forgotten art. Share this knowledge with anyone caught in noise who needs to find their center, and leave a comment saying, I breathe from the origin, because it's not about adding more, but about returning to the essential. And in that silence, the universe breathes. Have you ever felt like you're moving through life with your soul wrapped in a fog? It's not sadness, and it's not just physical tiredness. It's something deeper, a quiet inner voice that doesn't shout but still feels heavy, a feeling with no shape that seems to cover everything. It's like there's an ancient voice inside you, older than your thoughts, wiser than your beliefs, watching you and quietly asking, how long are you going to keep pretending this is what life is? Sometimes your body keeps moving forward, but your spirit feels stuck. Even as you go through the motions, keeping up with schedules, commitments, routines, something inside starts to crack. Little breaks in the mask you've built, a dimming of the spark in your eyes, a strange disconnection from excitement, a nostalgia with no clear reason, just an echo. This video isn't just another one. You're here for a reason. Maybe without even realizing it, your soul has started to stir, to get restless, to feel tired. And in that tiredness, a call begins. When the soul grows weary, it's not dying, it's waking up. Today, we're going to talk about that kind of exhaustion that goes beyond stress and sleepless nights, beyond just mental strain. We'll talk about soul fatigue, that crucial moment when your deepest self says, enough. We'll explore the invisible but unmistakable signs that a spiritual renewal is already happening inside you, even if you don't fully get it yet. We'll uncover the subtle but powerful signs of change, from losing meaning in everyday life to noticing coincidences that just don't make sense. We'll see how your body, your feelings, and even your relationships start reflecting that quiet cry from your soul, asking for authenticity, depth, and purpose. On this journey, I'm not going to offer quick fixes. There are no shortcuts when it comes to awakening the soul. But you will find keys, signs, and forgotten truths that might resonate with the most private parts of your being. Because when the soul gets tired, it's not the end. It's the beginning of something sacred coming back to yourself. Get ready. We're about to dive into ancient knowledge that few dare to face head-on. Today, we won't just talk about soul fatigue. Together, we'll learn how to understand it. Since the beginning of humanity, the soul hasn't been seen as just an abstract idea, but as the vital core of who we are, the invisible thread connecting who we are now with who we could become. In almost every ancient culture, soul exhaustion wasn't considered a disease or weakness, but a sacred sign, a warning that something important was out of balance. Many traditions called this the dark night of the soul, spiritual thirst, or the spirit's groan. The ancient Egyptians believed that people had multiple souls or spiritual parts, the Ka, the Ba, the Ak, and when one of these fell out of balance, it showed in visible ways. Losing enthusiasm, strange illnesses, sadness without reason, rejecting routine. For them, this wasn't a curse, but a chance. It was the soul's call to reunite with Ma'at, the universal principle of order, truth, and harmony. In India's Vedic traditions, there's the idea of vairagya, a deep detachment not born from dislike, but from the soul's tiredness with the world's illusions. When the soul grew tired of chasing fleeting pleasures, it started a process of reflection and letting go that opened the door to moksha, spiritual liberation. In that way, fatigue wasn't failure, but the beginning of transformation. Even Greek philosophy, which shaped much of Western thought, recognized this. Socrates said, "An unexamined life isn't worth living." And this examination wasn't just intellectual but spiritual, a confrontation with yourself in silence and confusion. Plato saw the soul as something from the world of ideas that suffered once it forgot where it came from. Soul fatigue then was homesickness for its lost home, a longing for something beyond what the material world could offer. In Sufi mysticism, they talk about masha, the sacred emptiness, a state where the soul, tired of external forms, prepares to welcome the divine. Spiritual fatigue is seen as a crucible, an alchemy where all that's false burns away so the true essence can emerge. The Sufi doesn't run from soul fatigue. He welcomes it, honors it, and turns it into silent prayer. Western esoteric traditions see this fatigue as the break between the lower self, ego and conditioned personality, and the higher self, the immortal soul, the eternal traveler. Spiritual alchemy teaches that this inner exhaustion is the nigredo stage, the soul's dark phase when every sense of identity breaks down, not to destroy but to purify. Nigredo is the fertile black earth of the soul, but first it must be uncovered, tilled, and watered with tears and silence. In Christian mysticism, figures like St. John of the Cross describe the dark night of the soul as a necessary step to awaken consciousness. It's not depression or a breakdown, but a deep spiritual journey where God, love, the void, or whatever you call it, quiet all outside voices so you can hear the one that matters, the soul's own. Despite cultural or religious differences, these traditions agree that when the soul grows tired, something sacred is about to happen. The soul doesn't get tired because it's weak, but because it's wise. It tires because it's been pretending too long, playing roles, repeating desires that aren't really its own. In that tiredness, in that silent sigh crossing time and cultures, there's a universal truth. The soul doesn't want comfort, it wants meaning. It doesn't crave empty pleasure but beauty with depth. It doesn't long for easy but for truth. Knowing this history and philosophy helps us see our own fatigue with new eyes, not as a flaw but as a sign, not as an end but as a door. And that door, as we'll explore next, doesn't lead outward but inward. When the soul gets tired, it doesn't send emails or flash big red alerts. It doesn't knock on the door like a sickness or shout like a hurt ego. The soul speaks quietly in whispers, using a poetic language that can be confusing at times and painfully clear at others. It communicates through symptoms, gut feelings, and absences, and people who haven't learned its language often mistake these signs for just discouragement, stress, or laziness. But the soul has its own way of speaking, a language that's been around since ancient times, now almost lost amid the noise of digital life and the rush of daily routines. Listening to the soul is like relearning a forgotten language, and the first thing it says when it gets tired is that something vital inside us has stopped resonating. One of the most common and surprising signs of spiritual exhaustion is losing your sense of meaning just when you're supposed to have everything you want. You might have a steady job, a busy social life, a functioning family. Everything looks fine on the outside, but inside there's a growing emptiness, like living in a beautifully decorated house with no windows, no fresh air, no soul. Here's our first key idea. The soul doesn't get fed by the same things that satisfy the body or the ego. The body needs rest and food. The ego wants recognition and success, but the soul craves purpose, beauty, and genuine connection. When those three are missing, the soul starts to wither, even if everything else looks okay. Think of a flower locked inside a box. You can give it the best soil and water it carefully, but without sunlight, it will slowly die. It's the same with the soul. It might be surrounded by luxury, achievements, or functional relationships, but if there's no light, no inner sense of truth, it simply fades away. The second idea is emotional exhaustion with no obvious outside cause. You feel drained, not because you've done too much, but because you haven't done what truly fulfills you. Like a fish out of water, you can survive for a while, but your energy slips away every time you try to act normal. This kind of fatigue builds up, not from one big failure, but from 1,000 small daily betrayals of your true self. Saying yes when you wanted to say no, following paths set by others, postponing what you really want out of fear or habit. Modern life is great at disconnecting us from our souls, without us even noticing. Everything is designed to entertain, fill time, and distract from silence. But it's in that silence that the soul starts to speak, and the first thing it usually says is, "This isn't what you're here for." Another sign of a tired soul is losing the passion for things that once excited you. It's unsettling. How can something you once loved feel dull or mechanical now? The answer is both simple and deep. The soul changes. It's not fixed. What used to feed it may stop doing so, not because it's wrong, but because it served its purpose. The soul doesn't fear change. It wants it. Our minds, clinging to security, see this need for change as instability or a crisis. So when the soul gets tired, it often gets bored too. Routine loses its appeal. This isn't being picky. It's a deep drive pushing us toward a life that matches our true selves. Questions start to come up that don't have easy answers. Who am I beyond the roles I play? What would I do if fear wasn't holding me back? What parts of myself have I let die just to fit in? These questions don't want quick fixes. They want to shake your foundation because the soul isn't interested in comfort. It wants growth. And when it gets tired, it's because you've lived too long in a skin that's not really yours. If the soul could cry, it would do so silently. But since it has no eyes or voice, it cries through your body, your dreams, and feelings you can't name. When the soul tires, it doesn't shut down all at once. It pulls back like a hurt animal retreating to the deepest corner of your being, waiting for you to stop and listen. One of the most confusing things that can happen then is the appearance of physical symptoms with no clear medical cause. Random aches, chronic fatigue, trouble sleeping, or an overwhelming need to sleep for hours. Even with all our medical advances, doctors often can't find a reason because the source is invisible, not physical. When the soul can't express itself, it shows up as imbalance in the body. The body becomes the altar where the soul speaks its silent prayers, its unspoken truths. This isn't about ignoring science. It's about remembering that some illnesses aren't cured by pills, but by meaning. It's not science versus spirituality. It's both telling the same story in different ways. What today we call somatization used to be called the spirit's lament, and it's not your enemy but your guide, telling you that something deep inside needs attention, as if your soul borrowed your body's voice to scream what your mind won't admit. You're living a life that doesn't honor who you really are. Then there's another big sign: emotional numbness. You become a bystander in your own life. You're there, but not really there. You laugh because you have to, talk out of duty, move on autopilot. What once thrilled you feels flat now. This isn't apathy, it's self-protection. Your soul is putting up armor because it can't handle the act anymore. It's like a flame reduced to a tiny spark before it goes out. But sometimes that little spark is the last light left, and that's where renewal begins. But before rebuilding can happen, the soul has to pull back, disconnect, empty itself. And here's where one of the most revealing parts of the process comes in: the appearance of synchronicities. A book shows up just when you need it most. A song sends exactly the message your soul is trying to say. A chance meeting sparks a series of thoughts that change your path. These synchronicities aren't random. They're the universe responding to a new energy coming from you. It's like by quieting your mind and dropping your masks, your soul starts sending out a clearer, more authentic signal. And at this new frequency, you begin to attract people, situations, and messages that you would have missed before. These aren't fate's signs. They're echoes of your inner shift. Next comes unexpected creativity. I'm not talking about professional talent, but that almost urgent need to express yourself, to let out something that's been bottled up inside for too long. Suddenly you want to write, draw, sing, spend time in nature, or rebuild your inner world. This creativity isn't just a passing whim, it's the soul carving pathways back to life. In many traditions, creating is healing. Shamans painted, monks chanted mantras, sages composed sacred songs, knowing that making something is a way to free, to heal, to remember. When the soul is tired, it doesn't ask for rest. It asks to create. And as this unfolds, your relationships often shift, not because of conflict, but because of resonance. You might feel out of sync with people who used to be so important, not because you stopped loving them, but because they no longer match the frequency your soul is now tuned to. This isn't rejection, it's energetic honesty. It hurts, but it also frees. What looks like loss of passion, friendships, or stability is actually a rearranging, the soul making space for what's next. Like any birth, this process can be messy, painful, and beautiful all at once. Because in the end, the soul doesn't grow weary from weakness, but from wisdom. And when it does, it sets in motion one of life's most powerful acts: rebirth. The soul doesn't need saving, it needs remembering. To remember, you have to create space in your daily life where it can show up without fear or judgment, free from simply being useful. Spiritual renewal isn't some sudden miracle. It's a gentle art, a daily choice to come back to yourself. Here, you won't find magic formulas or quick fixes, but you will find keys to unlock doors inside you if you're brave enough to turn them. 1. Deliberate silence. The soul doesn't shout. In a world that never stops talking, thinking, scrolling, and buzzing, you have to cut through the noise to hear it. Carve out pockets of radical silence, not just absence of words, but screens, distractions, and expectations set aside. Even a few minutes a day sitting quietly, doing nothing, lets your soul breathe. 2. Presence as ritual. Any action can be sacred when done with full attention. Eating, showering, walking. Don't rush or go through the motions. Feel each moment fully because it truly is unique. The soul lives in the present. It can't be found in the past you mourn or the future you worry about. 3. Emotional discernment. Not every feeling is truly yours. Many come from outside or are repeated patterns. Ask your emotions. Where do you come from? What are you trying to tell me? Don't push away sadness or run from anger. Watch and listen. The soul uses feelings to guide you toward what matters most. Ignoring them is like ignoring a lighthouse in a storm. 4. Conscious authenticity. Speak your truth even when it's uncomfortable. Follow your own path even if others don't get it. Be loyal to yourself, not to what others expect. Every honest act, no matter how small, strengthens your soul. Every lie, mask, or self-deception weakens it. This isn't rebellion, it's reality. 5. Beauty as medicine. Surround yourself with beauty, not luxury, but true beauty. A flower, a song, a poem, a sincere gaze. Beauty is a direct connection between soul and spirit. Don't just consume it, live it. Make your surroundings a sanctuary, no matter how simple. 6. The courage to let go. Much of what drains the soul isn't effort but attachment to ideas, people, or how things should be. Letting go isn't losing, it's making room for new growth. Practice detachment not as bitterness but as a dance with the unknown. Finally, remember this. Your soul isn't broken, it's calling. It doesn't want you to change to become better. It wants you to remember who you really are beneath all the conditioning. Caring for your soul means daring to live from the inside out, allowing yourself to exist fully and freely. Because the greatest act of spiritual love isn't escaping life, but living it with an awake soul. You've come to the end of this journey, but what matters isn't that you arrived here, it's what's starting to wake up inside you. If anything here resonated, if a part of you stirred as an old memory quietly reappeared, then your soul isn't dead, it's alive. Tired, yes, but alive. And in a world that often feels asleep, that's an act of courage. Today, we talked about a weariness that sleep can't fix, a dissatisfaction money can't solve, a longing that travel can't satisfy. Because when the soul is tired, it doesn't want more stuff, it wants truth. And truth isn't found outside, but in coming back to yourself. You're not alone in feeling this sacred emptiness. These signs aren't madness, they're awakening. Insomnia, sadness, confusion, loss of passion, heightened sensitivity, synchronicities, they're the soul's way of saying, I'm ready to come home. Are you ready to come with me? This process might feel chaotic. You might feel like you're losing control, getting lonely, watching your world fall apart. And that's true, but it's a sacred kind of falling apart. You're not breaking down, you're shedding everything that's not really you, like a snake shedding its skin, like a forest burning to grow back stronger. You don't need all the answers. No one who wakes up has them. Awakening isn't about knowing everything. It's about learning to live with questions, humility, and wonder. It means allowing yourself to be a mystery in constant change, an eternal spark in human form. This video isn't an ending. It's an invitation to see your life in a new way, to ask if you're living in a way that truly honors you, to pause and listen, not to me, not to this channel, but to that inner voice that's never left you, even if you've tried to ignore it. Maybe this is the first time you really stopped to listen, or maybe you've been walking this quiet path for years. Either way, today you took a step, and that's worth celebrating. I invite you to keep going. Dive deeper, keep listening, keep reading and sharing. Join this community of seekers who won't settle for just getting by, but have decided, with courage and kindness, to live with awake souls. Leave a comment, share your story, because when one person speaks from the soul, others remember theirs, and that's this channel's true mission, to create a space where the unseen has a voice, where spirituality isn't a luxury but a right, a practice, a way to fully live. And if something inside you woke up today, don't let it fall asleep again.